Hello and welcome to History, where today I will be talking with TP PAPE. Today I will ask TP PAPE some questions about the court case Plessy versus Ferguson. Here's some background knowledge on the court case. In the court case Plessy versus Ferguson, it was about separate but equal, which means white and black would be separated but would be treated the same. This case hit a trademark as it was seen by everyone in the United States and still up in today. In the court case, Plessy versus Ferguson was a 7-1 and Ferguson won. Do you think that Ferguson was in the right?
So I believe that now, so long after this court case, we can clearly see that Ferguson was just completely in the wrong. And this decision, it was just a very bad one made by the Supreme Court.
Okay. Here's another one. If you were to judge which side would you vote for?
Yeah, kind of like I said, if I were a judge, I would definitely vote for Plessy's side. I believe that it was obvious that things were not equal. We can see this when we look at the two sides. You know, like when they were in segregation, the white side was often like a lot better and nicer than the black people's side.
All right, that's a great answer. When you think about the sides, would you have an entire separate side by yourself?
No, I really think I would have just sided with Plessy in this case. I think that, the 14th Amendment really should have came into play here, and they should have known that things were not equal.
Okay. I want to talk to you about the world. How has this changed the world that we live in today?
All right, so this case was a big jab in American history. So as we begin to get better as a country, like we just got rid of slavery, made some good equality laws, and this was just a horrible ruling, really, to help segregation. And we really didn't need segregation. We just needed equality for everybody. So it really just delayed America from becoming truly free and equal.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
I agree with that. Here's another question. Today, now that Ferguson won, does this rule have any pros and cons to the world?
I believe there's absolutely no pros and only cons. Like I said before, this case is just a delay in America really becoming a true free and equal country.
Yeah. Where did the court make its argument justifying segregation?
All right, so the way that they justified this case is by telling everyone that this segregation that still kept them equal, but like it just was not equal. The ruling, it's very commonly heard, it was separate but equal. And looking back now, we can see that the conditions they had, they just were not equal. And the white people often lived in much better conditions than the colored people lived in.
Yeah, I agree with that, totally. Who is involved in this case other than Plessy and Ferguson?
In this case, it was just essentially like all of the black people, they were fighting for their equality against the few white people that were still oppressing them.
Yep. When were the 13th and 14th Amendments passed, and what did they aim to accomplish?
All right, so these amendments, they were passed, the 13th in 1865 and the 14th in 1868. And we can see that the 13th Amendment, this was meant to free all slaves. And then the 14th Amendment, its goal was to achieve equality. And the law, or the amendment, it ensured this equal treatment to all races. And it also made all the laws like non-racially motivated.
Yeah, they did. Did the case violate the 13th and 14th Amendments? If so, why?
Alright, so this case most definitely violated the 14th Amendment. However, it did not violate the 13th Amendment. But it definitely violated the 14th, like I said. The way they ruled, they said they were equal, but they definitely just weren't. So, one example is in many train stations, they would have more area and more accommodations on their side than on the colored side, showing that they just really were not treated equally, like the 14th law required.
I did
Yep.
not know that.
Yep.
Now that I've heard your opinion on this case, do you think any more laws will be violating the 14th Amendment?
Honestly, I do not believe that this country has made it this far just to go back and make the same mistakes. So I just think our country's strong enough that we won't make any new laws that treat any like single race unfairly. So that's about my whole opinion on this.
Yep, I agree. Next podcast drop will be on May 15th. We will be bringing a big guest to you. You may have seen his the 10 Amendment rap. You better go